Welcome back to Trojans Live. Jordan Moore, Max Brown, and a Trojans Live special here. Obviously, very different topics than we're used to talking about. We're joined now by the head coach, Andy Enfield of USC men's basketball, brought to you by Rock and Riley's USC and Subway. At times of uncertainty, getting as much value for your money is important. We will be offering various promotions for takeout and or drive-through offers. Please call your local Subway restaurant if you have any questions about what promotions are available at your favorite location. Thank you to the head coach, Andy Enfield, for joining us now. And Coach, first and foremost, how are you and your family doing?
Well, our family's doing fine. It was the first day in probably many years that my wife and I did not use our family car. I just realized that we haven't been out of the house other than to go for a walk. But the family's doing well. We're homeschooling our children, as most families are around the area. And my son, 8-year-old son, Markham, decided that I was his PE teacher. So we had some serious calisthenics and some push-ups and sit-ups today.
There you go. Basketball coach to PE teacher. I love it. Coach, walk me through the emotions of the past few weeks. I mean, you talk about a buzzer-beater win against your crosstown rival, to the excitement of postseason play, or that's what we thought it was going to be, to ultimately the disappointment of kind of what transpired with the coronavirus. Walk me through the emotions of your team and kind of the roller coaster it's been the past couple of weeks.
Our team was playing great basketball at the end of the year. We won 3 big games, beat Arizona State, and then the great showdown against UCLA, the buzzer beater by Jonah Matthews. I was really proud of how we ended. Defensively, we were playing at an extremely high level, and we felt very confident going into the Pac-12 tournament. We can win some games, compete for the championship. We had a first-round bye, and we went to the Wednesday games and saw the Washington-Arizona game. Of course, we played the winner. So our team and our staff was there scouting, and then we went back in the second half and that evening thinking we were playing the game, and then we woke up. Our staff met briefly and went to our pregame meal, and as we were meeting with the team for our pregame meal, we found out that the tournament was not going to be played with without the fans, as we thought. It was just going to be canceled altogether, and that was very disheartening and devastating to our players because we were playing so well and we're excited to be in Vegas to play. And then about 3 or 4 hours later, we found the NCAA tournament was being canceled, and that was even more heartbreaking for our young men. So we were so proud of our players to have a 22-9 record at the time, playing at the high level they were, and it all came crashing down in a matter of 3 or 4 hours.
What was your final message to your team?
Well, the message, number one, is we're proud of you for what you've accomplished. The message number 2 is this is a real-world issue we're dealing with. This is bigger than USC basketball or the Pac-12 NCAA tournament. So be prepared to grow up in a hurry. Our job as coaches is to mold these young men and prepare them for real life in the real world, and this is a real-life issue. So I give our guys a ton of credit. As disappointed and as heartbroken as they were, they've handled it with a lot of class and some maturity, and now they're back home with their families and doing classes online.
Coach, I know for me, the moment it went from just a virus that the news is talking about to something serious that's going to impact our daily lives was when Rudy Gobert got tested positive and the NBA ultimately shut down. What was the moment for you throughout the past couple of weeks where you said, all right, this might be something serious that could really take away basketball from my guys?
I think once Rudy was diagnosed and the NBA shut the season down indefinitely, it was just a matter of time before the NCAA followed suit. Once a player had it, I think if Rudy, if he would not have been tested positive, we would have played those at least the first, and then Donovan Mitchell and et cetera. So once the NBA shut down, I think it was just a matter of hours, and that really was what happened. So it was the right decision, but unfortunately for our players and all the other college basketball teams looking forward to March Madness, this happened at the wrong time.
Coach, how do you recruit in this time period? You expect probably to sign some people coming up in the next month, and then there's just the grad transfer market in college basketball has exploded, and I see people signing on the daily, so somehow they're being recruited or making these decisions. How does that work when official visits and visits really of any kind are out of the question?
It is very challenging. The recruiting ban by the NCAA is at least through April 15th and probably be extended after that. That means no in-person contact with recruits or families, so we cannot go see them and they cannot come on campus. So all the recruiting done right now is on the phone via the cell phone and text messages, and that's the way it has to be. So we're on with our recruiting pitches. The great thing about our program is we have a lot of players that are leaving, and so for recruits, it's a pretty viable option to come and have a chance to be part of a good program, a good team, and also contribute right away.
Coach, usually when a season ends, it's quite simple to go back and assess the season and see if it was a success or maybe not so much. But this year, with it ending prematurely, how do you even, when you go back and assess the year, how do you even make sense and kind of reason with what that year meant for USC basketball as a whole?
Well, our coaching staff is extremely proud of our players. We are so thrilled with their achievements, how much they came together. We only had 3 returning players on our roster: Jonah Matthews, Nick Rakocevic, and Elijah Weaver, who was a sophomore. So with 3 returnees and 6 new players, 5 freshmen and 2 grad transfers, so 7 new players and only 3 returnees. For them to go and win 22 games, which is the second most wins in the Pac-12 behind Oregon, we thought this team was good enough to really make a run in the NCAA tournament. And I've been around this game a long time, 25 years coaching, since 2004, so 26 years. And so when you're a coach, you know as the season progresses and the improvement that they made, especially on the defensive end, we were good enough to win games in the NCAA tournament. And I don't say that for every team we've had because it's just not true. But this team was really, really good, and they improved so much towards the end of the season. So we were so proud of our players for what they've accomplished.
Coach, we'll let him make his own decision in his own time, but you've made no secret that you certainly expect Onyeka Okongwu to be a one and done. So as we sort of transition and look at him as an NBA draft prospect, which is what you want for all your guys, and right now looks like he could be a mid to high lottery pick. How do you envision him as at the next level as a prospect?
Well, before I answer that, I just realized I said 2004. It's actually 1994. That was my first coaching job in the NBA with the Milwaukee Bucks. So that's how old I am. I just turned 50, and I've been coaching a long time. But Onyeka Okongwu wasn't even born when I started coaching. Big O is what a special young man.
Yeah.
He won 3 state championships at Chino Hills. He came to USC. He did not ask me one time as a head coach, say, "Hey, will you run a play for me?" He never asked anybody to run a play for him, to give him something special, to give him a starting spot. He just went out and earned everything he got. And what a freshman year he had, one of the greatest of all time in USC basketball history. So he's going to be probably a top 10 pick in the NBA draft. And it's not just because he's a great player. It's just as much to do because of his work ethic, his personality, his the way he approaches the game, and the way he approaches his teammates. And all the NBA scouts have seen that throughout the season, at our practices, at our games. And I can't say enough great things about this young man. So we're all happy that he's going to go on to the NBA, but we will surely miss him. But as the 4 guys we've put in the NBA the last 2 years, they've all come back and have kept close contact with our players and our program.
Yeah, you got a pretty good big coming in next year, too, so we'll talk about that at another time. But I want to get you out on this one, Coach. We asked Coach Helton his favorite football movie of all time. We all need something to watch right now. What's your favorite basketball movie of all time?
Well, I'd say Hoosiers offhand because I'm from a small town in Pennsylvania, so I can relate to the shooters, the guys that aren't that athletic that can shoot from deep. And Hoosiers was a great story, and, of course, the acting was tremendous. So other than that, there are a lot of great sports movies out there, and I'm sure in the next few weeks we'll probably watch them all.
Andy Enfield, the Jimmy Chitwood of his time.
Whoa.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you joining us. Trojans Live, speaking of movies, Trojans Live is brought to you by Redbox, the official at-home movie partner of the Pac-12. Rent Knives Out. It's a good one, CMX.
Oh, yeah. Great
really
one.
good movie, yeah. Whodunit Mystery, starring Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, and more. Head to your local Redbox or stream instantly on demand. Hey, Coach Helton talked about him earlier. Aaron Osmus is everyone's strength and conditioning coach next on Trojans Live.